Hello, everyone. My name is Nazir Sadiria Abdia, and I wanted to talk to you about something that um, has been on my mind and my heart for a few years now. The quote, I do a lot of affirmations and things like that, and a quote that's been sticking with me is one from Jay-Z. It's called Reveal to Heal. And that's been the motto for the last month for me, from the last new moon, the new moon we just had on the 15th, going into this whole month, is to reveal the things that I need to work on, things that I need to heal, secrets that I may have that have hindered my growth, and things like that. So, one of the things that I've been holding in is about Dr. Sebi. Um, June of 2016, I was in Usha Village. I was staying at Dr. Sebi's wellness compound, and I was there when he was imprisoned, and I left when he was imprisoned. And I've had a lot of guilt about that because I haven't really talked to the people that were staying there in the village with me. Um, we didn't talk about it. We didn't talk about how it made us feel, how when I got back home, how I found out that he had transitioned. And it, it affected me a lot. And I've been holding those feelings in. Um, Let me just tell you a little bit about what happened and why I'm feeling the way I do. We were in Usha Village. When I got there, Dr. Sebi was traveling, and we were told that he was out of the country and he would be returning back to Honduras shortly, maybe a week after I arrived. That was my trip was a total of almost a month. It was, I think, 28, 29 days total. Um, and he was supposed to arrive shortly after we got there. Well, time went by, and a week went by, a week and a half went by, and we were told that, oh, Dr. Sebi's on his way back. He was delayed. He made a detour to, I think he was in another country. He was in a country in Africa. I want to say it was Guyana. Not, it wasn't Ghana. New Guinea, maybe, or it was somewhere. I want to say it was New Guinea. I don't know why, but I could be wrong. But he was in Africa, meeting with one of the presidents of one of the countries there, trying to work on some projects that he was upcoming projects that they wanted to work on together. And he made a detour to the United States, to LA, to his LA office. And from that point, from LA to Honduras, is when he was incarcerated over the whole. Everybody knows the story, so I don't need to go into all that. But when we were in the village, we weren't told he was incarcerated. We just said his trip was delayed. And um, it came out that, okay, he got arrested. He's in jail. And we were like, well, what do we need to do? Is he going to get bailed out? Blah, blah, blah. And they were like, no, this is normal. I mean, this has happened to him before. And this is what they do. And I'm not saying that this is what happened, but in a lot of countries, especially these countries that are quote unquote considered third world countries, which I don't really believe in that terminology, but a lot of these countries, the government will, and government workers, employees will arrest you for something petty, or meaningless, something that any other country they would have been like, pay the fine, go home. They'll arrest you, and then if you bribe them or you pay them off, just like you get arrested in another country, the police will arrest you for something or pull you over, and then you pay them, and then you just keep it moving. And so apparently this was something that had happened before, and I don't know how they handled it, if they paid them off or if they just let them go or what. But Dr. Sebi wasn't going for it this time, and he ended up being there longer than what they thought. And apparently something happened when he went to court and appeared before the judge or the prosecutor or something was said that they did not like, that they felt disrespected, and they was like, you're not getting out. But what I do want to tell you is in Honduras, there's a law that if you are over a certain age, I think it's 60 or 65, you're considered an elder, and they can't keep you incarcerated for more than a week or two. So when the newspaper article came out and I saw it, it said he was like, I think it has to be 65, the age of 65 or older or something like that. Because it said the doctor said he was 60. And we all know he was not 60. He may have acted like he was 60 or 50 or even 40, but he was not 60. But in order to keep him locked up, they had to, falsify. So, with that being said, he stayed in jail. I came back home, after my month went by. And, we called, I kept in contact with his niece and his nephews and some of the people that worked in the village and stuff like that via, social media or, and the phone or whatever. And we were told that, he has a trial date coming up, blah, blah, blah. But he has to stay incarcerated a little longer because of something that happened, and I think it was a disrespect, the verbal disrespect that the prosecutor or the judge or whoever felt, and they got upset and did not give him a bond or bail. So anyway, to make a long story short, it had to be about, I want to say midnight or 1 o'clock in the morning. I get a phone call from a friend that I met in the village that was also staying there, and was told that Dr. Sebi's niece had reached out to those that were staying there at the time that were continuously trying to figure out what was going on, and that Dr. Sebi had passed um, in prison, in jail. I was just shocked. I was shocked because I could not believe that he had died, in jail right there in Honduras, like he was there. I had just left, a couple, a few, I don't even think it was maybe 2, 3 weeks at the most. I don't even think it was 3 weeks, probably 2 weeks or so. Um, but when I found out that they said he had pneumonia or he was sick, that was crazy to me because this is the man that has cured has cured people who have sickle cell, cancer, diabetes, high blood pressure, you know, you got it. You name it. He's helped cure them or heal them or, make them better. Um, AIDS, HIV. And you're going to tell me he's been doing this for, what, 50 years, 40, 50 years, and you're going to tell me he died of pneumonia? Okay, granted, maybe his diet wasn't the greatest there because I'm sure you wasn't feeding him herbs every day. I'm sure you wasn't giving him a vegan alkaline diet, but pneumonia? Like, really, how disrespectful is that to kill somebody or to allow them to die incarcerated in prison? And then you're going to post into the news that this man, this healer, dies of something menial as pneumonia. So the guilt hit me because I was like, he's still locked up because through talking to people and stuff, they was like, "Oh, we working it out. It's no big deal." Blah blah blah. That's how it was portrayed to us by the family and the employees. Like it's not a big deal. We're not going to talk about it really because it's not a big deal. Um, but what hit me was had I known how corrupt and severe this was, that he was actually dying in there. I I I guess I thought in my heart of hearts, like this has happened to him before. They just don't. They never announced it. It was not something that they talked about. It's happened before, so it's not a big deal. They know what to do. It's their government. It's their jails. They know what to do. Dr. Sebi ain't tripping. You know what I'm saying? But to find out that they did some stuff to kind of, it's almost like it was planned. But for me, the guilt set in when I was like, should I have contacted some people? Should I have contacted, I don't know, the NAACP? Not that they can do anything, but the NAACP or United States government, you know, uh, you know, black activist groups here in the U.S. or whatever. Like, should I have contacted somebody? Should we have contacted somebody? Should we have taken a more proactive action to make sure that people knew that he was locked up? Because when I got back, nobody knew he was locked up. And it wasn't like I was running to tell nobody, because it was kind of like the family was like, hush, hush, we don't want people to know that he's in jail, that it's over money, that he was, bringing more money in. Like, I was trying to protect the family, going along with what they wanted, with what they, were putting out there, their energy they was putting out on how they handled this. But in my heart of hearts, there was something that was like, no, something's just not right. And I kind of blame myself. Like, as much as I am a part of healing my community, healing my people, healing peace throughout the world, all of that, like, why didn't I pick up the phone and call somebody? Why didn't I call the news or tell somebody? Why didn't I make it a big deal? Like, I know we go when it's our time, and I know that so many more people know who he is now because of his legacy and his life and even his death. But I've been holding this guilt in, and I'm going back to Honduras. I leave in about 3 or 4 days. I'm going back to Honduras. I'm not staying at Ocean Village. I'm staying somewhere else. But I will go visit. And I just had to get it off my chest before I get back there, because um because I've been feeling like it's kind of like our fault, my fault. I felt like I should have said something. And I just um know that he's still with us. I know that his legacy lives on. I know that part of who I am, I was supposed to be there for a reason at that time. I know I will never forget him. I know that I will continue to be a prophet of his knowledge and his, I will continue to minister his message. My whole life changed from going to the village. And my family's life changed because I came home telling about this is how we're going to change our lives. Um, and so I know he created a lot of little Sabians out there. And I may not practice everything that he believes in, but he is deep in my heart, as much as activists like Malcolm X and Martin Luther King and Yeshua and, and Buddha and, you know, all these other activists, Louis Farrakhan, all these other activists that I admire and respect, Marcus Garvey, Rosa Parks, Dr. Sebi is on that list. And I can't, I just ask that you all forgive me. And um, from here on out, I resolve to forgive myself and to continue his legacy and be a part of this movement to heal not only our people, but heal those in the world that don't know how to heal themselves. Because according to Dr. Sebi, according to an ancient proverb, the herbs are for healing the nation. And I vow to teach that to the world. That's one of my callings. And Dr. Sebi, I thank you. I love you. And I am grateful for what you left us. And I know everything happens for a reason. And I just had to reveal it. I had to tell how I felt and what I did do and what I didn't do. So That's it. And I just wish you all peace and prosperity. And I pray that we will continue to follow his legacy and to do the things that we know we need to do to be healthy and to live a long life that the Most High intended for this universe. Ashe.